think the president said, let's have diplomacy have a chance to work, backed up by a credible threat of force. The real issue is there a credible threat of force if, in fact, Congress and the American people don't support it? Then the question becomes, would the president ever take action? Having gone to Congress to request authority, would he take action without authority from Congress now?
Right.
That, in my judgment, would certainly cause him some future political problems as he would seek to go forward for the next 3 years. So I think he's in a box. A trapdoor has been pulled, and he's out of the box for the moment. But I think with all of the mixed messages we've had, first it was going to be a strong strike against Syria, then pulled back, well, it would be a little strike, the littlest possible strike. Then it was going to be a shot across the bow. Now it's going to be something targeted and really effective. I don't know what the mission is, frankly.
It's been difficult to get there. The message has been muddled. It's either unbelievably small or we don't do pinpricks. Do you believe that the effectiveness of deterrence has been reduced among other would-be rogue governments? What are they saying in Tehran? What are they saying in Pyongyang?
I think they're looking at the United States and seeing that Congress itself remains deadlocked. We haven't had a budget in 4 years. It's unlikely we'll have another budget. The president is going to come up against other domestic issues with debt ceiling, et cetera. And then to have Congress basically reflect a vote of no confidence that we should take military action. I think they're looking to see the United States power diminish significantly, certainly in that part of the world and maybe in other parts as well.
Mr. Secretary, what's your conclusions about what is going on behind the scenes at the White House? There's been a very important change of language. Coming into last week, Mr. Obama was talking about wanting to punish Syria for what had gone on. And then you came on CNBC on Power Lunch and you said, actually, under international law, you cannot punish. You can only degrade and deter further action. And now his language has changed to degrade and deter. What do you think is going on behind the scenes during this time about who he's listening to at what point and what they're learning along the way? A process or a communication policy that the Washington Post editorial describes today as stumbling, improvised, and often incoherent.
Well, I think that's a proper characterization because of all of the mixed messages. Last week I said it was something out of Dr. Dolittle in terms of having a push me, pull you policy. We had Secretary Perry give what I would call a Periclean speech rallying the nation to war. And then the president kind of called it back and said, well, not yet, let's go talk to Congress. He wanted to talk to Congress because the Arab League took a dive on this, so to speak, and the British voted no. So the president then turned to Congress for authority. That's always dangerous to do that. I think the president had the inherent authority, just like President Bill Clinton did, to take action, comply with the War Powers Resolution. But if you're really serious about hitting Assad for doing something quite heinous, then you have to hit him within a reasonably short period of time. You may have few people with you if you act quickly. But if you act on a long timetable, you'll have far more opponents, including the American people, including many others around the world. So we've got ourselves in a situation where there has been a lack of clarity. What are we going to do? I would recommend, if he's going to take military action, follow President Clinton, what President Clinton did in Desert Fox. That was to go after Saddam Hussein's weapons at that point under the UN security authorization. But to go after his weapons, and for 4 days we inflicted real severe pain and suffering, which caused Saddam to recalculate what he was doing in terms of those weapons that he was developing. So I would think that the president is thinking of that model now, not Kosovo, but Desert Fox 1998, which was a limited 4-day attack in which there were no casualties on the part of the United States.
Okay, Mr. Cohen, thank you very much for your time. It's good to see you again, Secretary Cohen, as we